This year's been another prolific season for Ronaldo. 39 games, 33 goals, and that leaves him on 934, just 66 goals away from the big 1,000. However, he's now 40 years old. Al-Nassr haven't qualified for the Asian Champions League, and time could be running out for Ronaldo. It's pretty clear that he's about to leave Saudi Arabia, so we're going to take control of his career and see if EA have programmed in a special 1,000 goal celebration for us. So what can we really do as Ronaldo? Well, we've got one last match for Al-Nassr before the move, so let's see if we can reach 935 today, while also thinking about what teams we can move to. Moving to the MLS would be ironic given some of the online discourse. England might be possible at a team like Wolves. I don't think we should settle for a non-elite Spanish, French or Italian team, and Germany is way too intense for a 40-year-old. Oh, and there is goal 935. I think we're actually going to go for none of those options. Enquiries is leaving Sporting, they say we can go back. We decide we're going to go back, and now we are back. Now Enquiries is gone, we're the highest rated player in the entire league, and if Di Maria can boss this league, I don't see why someone like Cristiano Ronaldo can't. It might seem easy to score 66 goals with someone of this rating, but I can promise there are going to be so many challenges in today's video. So we now have 65 goals to go. That's 22 a year for 3 seasons, or maybe 2 massive 33 goal seasons. Can it be done? Well, I'm going to be setting an end date of 2028 to reach the 1,000, with Ronaldo turning 43 in January that season. No one can really be at this level into their mid-40s despite what EA says, but anyway, let's get started. The stadium that Sporting Lisbon play in has only really heard the Sul while Ronaldo's been wearing the maroon of Portugal. We came close a couple of times in our first game, but we want our first goal to be special. And it was. Back to goal, we beat one man, we run towards the edge of the box and power shot it so hard past the goalkeeper, he had no chance of saving that. So that was goal 936, just 64 to go. Well actually, in the same game we also hit 937, it's a brace on the return, and what a season that could be. I don't want this to be a compilation of bangers from Ronaldo though, so after every single month completes, we're going to complete a new storyline, which is going to be like a mini challenge that we have to take control of. It's totally random what we get. For August, we're ready to spin the wheel and see what comes up. So after it's finished spinning, we'll be moved out of position for the rest of this month. We're just going to change Ronaldo from a striker to a left winger, we have that in our formation, and it's just like FIFA 13. Can we still get goals from out wide though? Absolutely. We bang in goal 938, 939, 940 and 941 in a pretty easy month. We played against Estoril, Casapia, Nacional and AVS, and all of them are going to finish in the bottom third of the table. Okay, so we're back to striker for September and we do another spin. This time, we're losing 1 overall. We're going to take some of his dribbling and a little bit of his shooting away and try and keep his pace there, but we're still clear of every other player in the league as an 83 overall. Still, despite this setback, we bag our first hat-trick against Vitória, as well as one against Benfica, and that's 945 goals for Ronaldo. You know what's going to keep happening, we're going to keep progressing time, and we're in October again, time to spin the wheel again, and this time it's another overall downgrade. We'll take some of Ronaldo's pace away, as well as a tiny bit of dribbling, and now we're just an 82 overall. I'm not too sure we'll even be able to get in the Portugal squad if we drop any lower than this. Is this stat change going to hurt us this time? Well, kind of, to be honest. We've gone from scoring 9 in our first 8 games to scoring just 1 in our next 4. That was goal 946, so we've still got 50 more goals to score. Overall though, the season is still going pretty well. We keep spinning our wheel, and we actually got lucky getting a new manager 3 different times in a row. In the first of those 3 months, we scored goals 947, 948, 949 and 950, and by the middle of March, we're already on 22 goals this season. We get a brace against Porto, and that slams us up to 960 over our career. It's time for one last spin in a pretty outstanding season. Surely we're not going to get transfer listed, right? Well, oh my god, that was so close. Another overall down, but back in the league, we're still just about good enough to start for Sporting. Goal 961 goes in our next match, and 962 and 963 follow in the same game. That's our 3rd hat-trick of the season. This time to spin the wheel again, and another overall rating downgrade. We now have just 2 games left in the season, and we score our final league goal against Firenze. That's goal 964, and we're already trying to focus on next season. But before then, we have 2 chances of glory. We can still win the Europa League if we beat Atalanta, and maybe that'll be enough to sneak into the United States World Cup squad for Portugal. Of course, being a big game player, Atalanta never had any chance. It was a final that was dominated by us and gave us goal 965 and of course 966. With Sporting also winning the league, that brings us up to 35 senior trophies, still 12 behind Messi and 11 behind Dani Alves. But before we can start next year, we have actually gone into the World Cup squad, or the Men's International Cup squad I guess it's called now, but we got a last minute caller. We get a few last minute goals too, and goal 967 was in the group stage, 968 was in the last 16 and 969 was in the quarterfinals, but we weren't quite good enough to win the entire thing. It's a shame, but we just need 31 more goals to get to 1,000. That's surely more impressive than winning the World Cup, right? Well, can we do it? It just feels like it's getting harder and harder as we spin more and more -1 overall spins. We were scoring goals about 2 or 3 every single month, and throughout the year, that tally just kept rising and rising. We got really lucky with some of the spins we were doing for the challenges as well. We didn't actually lose a single overall until March, at which point we were already on 981 goals. Of course, after winning the Europa League, that meant we'd also qualified for the Champions League, so Ronaldo was scoring these goals at an even more difficult level, while also being 42 years old and an 80 overall player. We span the wheel in March of Season 3, and we finally got it, the 3% chance of being transfer listed. Unless we could score those 15 goals in the next couple of months, we were going to have to do the record at another team. We had so many offers. We could have gone to play for Wayne Rooney in the 2nd Division of England, we could have gone to Turkey or some of the lower down teams in Saudi Arabia, but there was really only one club that we were interested in going to. It was Nacional Madeira. Of course, this is the island that Ronaldo was born on. He never had a chance to play for the men's team, and now he could break the record of 1,000 goals in one career at his hometown club. This would be absolutely extraordinary. So of course, we agreed this contract and we spent the next couple of months trying to get as close to the record as we could. When we left Sporting Lisbon, we were on 991 goals, meaning we just need to score 9 goals in the next season for Madeira. But of course, this was also the season that we said we were going to retire at the end of the year. So we had to do it this year. There was no second chances if we couldn't just score 9 more goals. It sounds easy, but this season was actually probably the most difficult. I don't know how it happened, but in the first 5 months, we actually rolled the -1 overall 4 times. We were now 76 overall, and each time we were taking more and more pace off to try and drop Ronaldo's overall. He was now painfully slow, he was 43 years old, and we were just really struggling to score goals. However, it was only 1 goal per month, and that was the target we'd set ourselves. In August, we scored our first goal for Madeira. In September, we would score 2, so we were ahead of schedule. But in October and November, we didn't even play a single match. In December, we got another 2. In January, we got a single goal, we didn't score again until March, and now we were so close to that record. A game against Sporting was never going to be an easy one, but again, no matter what we tried, we just could not get the goal that we needed, and we just needed 2 more goals. We didn't have the pace, we had absolutely no strength, until finally in the 75th minute, we would break through. That was the 999, and now it's just 1 more goal. But of course, then we just got stuck. We were on 999 for over 2 months. We had no way of getting that 1,000th goal. But then we found out we were getting called up for one last match with Portugal. Surely, if there was ever a time for Ronaldo to get his 1,000th goal, it was for the national team while he was the captain. Or at least that was the plan. But could we actually do it? Well, let's have a look. International football was so different to playing for Madeira back in the National League. We could do absolutely nothing. When we got the ball, we were just getting bullied by Croatians, but we still had a little bit of flair and trickery. We just couldn't compete physically with people like Guardiola. We were using Rafa Leao to do most of our pressing for us, and he was playing more like how we used to when we were the star of the national team. But I think if anything, we were just trying to get that goal a little bit too hard. What we needed to do was just wait for the right moment to score the goal. We needed to just make sure we're in the right position to get on the end of a pass like this one, into the box, and there it is, goal number 1000, and we have finally done it. I didn't think we were going to get there a lot of times in this video. Scoring 65 goals with someone over the age of 40 is a lot harder than it seems, and if Ronaldo can actually do this in real life, I will be very, very impressed. To be honest, we had to request a sub at that point. There's no way we're going to go for 2,000 because we'd probably be about 75 years old when we finished. But I'm actually going to try and do this exact same challenge on Football Manager over on my second channel. So if you're not already subscribed to that channel and you want to see that, make sure you head over now and subscribe. But thank you to everyone who subscribed to this channel and all of the channel members who have made this video possible. If you want to become one and help support the channel, I really, really do appreciate that too. But if not, thank you for watching, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, and goodbye. This year's been another prolific season for Ronaldo. 39